Imagine for a moment standing at a crossroads in your life, right there on the brink between your dreams and the reality that surrounds you. There's a part of you that feels drawn towards something greater, something more fulfilling. Yet the voices around you, logical reasoning, the weight of your past experiences, and even the doubts you've nurtured over the years, whisper that what you long for is simply out of reach. It's as if the world itself stands guard, cautioning you to stay within the boundaries of what's possible, telling you that stepping beyond is too risky, too uncertain. But then somewhere deep within your heart, a quieter voice emerges, a whisper that speaks of infinite possibilities that defy the evidence of your senses. That gentle urging doesn't rely on logic or proof. It resonates from a place that can't be measured, from a knowing that what you yearn for is not only possible, but already yours in some intangible way. How do you hold on to that vision when everything outside of you seems to deny its existence? How do you keep the flame of hope alive when reason, facts, and past experiences pile up like a wall between you and your desire? This is where the true power of belief reveals itself. Not the shallow belief that shows up when the stars align and everything is easy, but the kind that stands tall even when the world seems determined to knock it down. Today, let's embark on a journey into the heart of belief, where the unseen takes root and blossoms. Here you'll discover that it's not the external evidence that shapes your life, but the strength of the conviction that pulses within you. The outside world may dismiss your dreams, but your inner world holds the key to transforming that external reality entirely. So let's talk about this idea of living in the experience of already having what you desire. This is more than just a mental exercise. It's a practice that invites you to step beyond visualization and into a state of being where your desired outcome feels as real as the ground beneath your feet. It's about embracing the emotions, the sensations, the textures of that dream as if they were already woven into your everyday life. Of course, the challenge most people face is that chasm between where they are and where they want to be. The evidence around us can be overwhelming. Bank accounts that say not yet, relationships that test our patience, situations that shout impossible. It's easy to feel defeated by what you see. But what if that gap is only as real as you allow it to be? What if the power to bridge that distance lies within your own mind and heart? Picture this. What would it feel like to have already achieved your deepest desire? Would your mornings feel different? Would you smile more, breathe easier, move through the day with a new sense of purpose? These aren't idle questions. They're the blueprint for a new reality. When you truly live in that feeling of accomplishment, you're not pretending. You're building a foundation for what's to come. This isn't about ignoring the struggles you might be facing. It's not a denial of reality, but rather a conscious decision to give more energy to what you want than to what you fear. When you shift your focus, when you choose to align your thoughts, your emotions, and your energy with that desired outcome, you begin to change the very fabric of your life. The world starts to mirror back the beliefs you hold most dearly. And yes, it's not always easy. The logical mind is trained to lean on facts and data, to trust what's visible and tangible. It'll protest, telling you that you can't possibly feel wealthy if your finances say otherwise, that you can't feel loved when relationships feel strained. But that's where the real magic happens. It's about learning to quiet those doubts and instead standing in the unwavering certainty that what you seek is already yours. One of the most powerful tools you have at your disposal is your imagination. It's not just a playground for wishful thinking. It's a bridge between the life you live and the life you desire. By using your imagination, by vividly seeing, feeling, and experiencing that desired outcome, you're not just daydreaming. You're laying down the neural pathways that teach your mind and body that this new reality is possible. Your subconscious mind doesn't care whether what you feed it is real or imagined. It simply absorbs whatever is repeated with enough conviction. That's why this practice of living in the feeling of your wish fulfilled is so transformative. When you do it consistently, you begin to reprogram your subconscious to align with the life you want to live. So take a few moments each day. Close your eyes, breathe deeply, and step into the version of yourself who has already achieved what you desire. Feel the emotions that come with that success, the peace, the confidence, the joy. Let those feelings flood your being as if they were already the norm. It's not just about seeing the details. It's about letting those emotions guide you, because emotions are the fuel that powers the engine of manifestation. When you feel the thrill, the relief, the satisfaction of your dream come true, you're aligning yourself with that very outcome. And sure, doubt will creep in. Old habits will try to drag you back to that place of disbelief. That's normal. The key is to recognize it when it happens, to gently guide yourself back to that state of fulfillment. Each time you do, you're strengthening the muscle of belief. Over time, it becomes easier, and you'll start to see your outer world shifting to match the changes within. Living in the feeling of your wish fulfilled also invites you to cultivate a sense of detachment. This doesn't mean giving up on your dreams or not caring. It means releasing the tight grip of control over the how and when. When you truly believe that what you want is already yours, you no longer feel that anxious urgency that so often clouds the path. You trust the process, knowing that what's yours will find its way to you in the perfect timing. That detachment keeps you calm, even when your outer world seems to lag behind your inner conviction. Remember, the outside world is always a reflection of your inner world. If you're constantly focusing on what's missing or what's not working, that's what you'll continue to see. But when you focus on the feeling of already having what you want, you're signaling to the universe that this is your new reality. The more you live in that state, the more the world will shape itself around it. And let's not forget the importance of persistence. Manifestation is rarely instant. It takes time for the seeds you plant within to sprout and grow in the world around you. There will be moments when it feels like nothing's happening, when it's tempting to give up, but that's when persistence is most needed. You have to keep living in that feeling, holding on to your vision even when the evidence around you suggests otherwise. This is the art of manifestation. It's a process that calls you to move beyond the limitations of logic and into the realm of infinite potential. It asks you to trust in your own ability to shape your reality, to believe in the unseen forces that are always at work behind the scenes. And when you do, when you truly master this practice, life begins to unfold in ways you never thought possible. The world around you starts to reflect back the truth of what you've been holding inside. The strength of your inner conviction is the foundation of all creation. It's the unwavering belief that what you desire is not just possible, but inevitable. It's more than hope or positive thinking. It's a deep, unshakable knowing that what you want is already yours, and the universe is simply catching up to that belief. Inner conviction is a state of mind where your belief in your desired outcome is so powerful that it overrides any evidence to the contrary. It's born from that quiet place inside, where your true power resides. It's the force that pushes you forward, even when obstacles stand in your way. When you nurture this conviction, you tap into a wellspring of strength that carries you through challenges and setbacks. The challenge for most people is that they tie their beliefs to what they can see in the physical world. They let circumstances dictate when things aren't going well, they lose hope. When they hit roadblocks, they start to question everything. That's why inner conviction is so essential. It invites you to shift your focus from what's outside to what's inside, to trust that what you believe with all your heart is stronger than anything that tries to stand in its way. It's not something that happens overnight. It's a skill you build, a muscle you strengthen with practice. It starts with a decision, a commitment to believe in yourself and your desires no matter what. That decision has to be unwavering, because the world will test you. There will be moments when it feels like progress has stopped, when every step forward feels like a struggle. But these are the moments that forge your strength. The truth is, reality is not fixed. The world around you is constantly shifting, responding to your thoughts, your feelings, and your beliefs. What seems unchangeable is actually in motion, waiting for your direction. When you hold a firm belief that what you want is already on its way, the universe begins to align itself to match that belief. Circumstances, events, and people start to move in ways you couldn't have predicted, opening doors you never knew existed. And that's the magic of inner conviction. It creates the space for your desires to manifest. But how do you build this unshakable inner conviction? It starts by becoming aware of the beliefs you currently hold. Are they in harmony with what you want, or do they reinforce doubt and lack? Recognize that those limiting beliefs are just echoes of old conditioning. They're not set in stone. You have the power to rewrite them. That's the gift of inner conviction. It empowers you to let go of the old and embrace the new, to step into a reality where your dreams are already alive, waiting for you to claim them. Once you've begun to notice those limiting beliefs that have kept you from living the life you truly desire, the next step is to deliberately choose new ones that uplift and empower you. It's about telling yourself a different story, one where your dreams are not only possible, but already in motion. This isn't about forcing yourself to believe something you're not yet ready to accept. It's about nurturing a sense of worthiness, a quiet confidence that what you seek is not only within reach, but already making its way to you. This is where the power of imagination and affirmations comes into play. When you close your eyes and picture your ideal life, you're doing more than just daydreaming. You're actually crafting a new reality within the realm of the unseen. The more vividly you can picture yourself stepping into that version of your life, the stronger your belief in its possibility becomes. Visualization is more than just seeing images in your mind. It's about immersing yourself in the sensations, the emotions, the textures of that life. It's about feeling the joy, the freedom, the satisfaction as if it were happening right now. When you engage with your desires on this deep emotional level, you strengthen your conviction, because your mind begins to accept this new reality as true. It no longer feels like a distant hope, but a living, breathing part of your experience. Affirmations are another powerful tool in this journey of transformation. When you repeat words that align with your desires, like "I am worthy of love," "abundance flows easily to me," or "I am already living my dream life," you're not just reciting empty phrases, you're reprogramming your subconscious mind to accept these truths as part of who you are. At first you might feel resistance, or these words might feel hollow. That's okay. With time and repetition, these new beliefs will take root and start to shape your thinking. It's important to remember that affirmations work best when they're not just words, but beliefs you can begin to accept, even in small ways. You're training your mind to adopt a new perspective, one that sees possibilities instead of barriers. And with enough practice, these affirmations transform into powerful statements of your new reality. Another essential element of nurturing this inner conviction is learning to let go of the how. One of the most common obstacles people face on this journey is the need to control every step of the process. How things will happen, when they'll happen, and in what order. The mind loves to plan and predict, but this constant need to micromanage can actually weaken your conviction. When you're preoccupied with how your dreams will unfold, you're telling yourself on some level that you don't fully trust the process. To build true, unshakable conviction, you must learn to release this need to control the details. Trust that the larger forces at play, call it the universe, divine intelligence, or simply the natural flow of life, are handling the mechanics. Your role is to hold the vision of your desire, to live in the feeling of already having it, and to trust that the path will reveal itself when the time is right. This doesn't mean you sit back and do nothing. It means you act when inspired, when your heart says yes, but you don't try to force or manipulate the process out of fear or impatience. There's a huge difference between inspired action and desperate action. Inspired action feels natural, like the next obvious. Desperate action feels like you're trying to wrestle life into submission. Choose the former and you'll find that things flow more easily and effortlessly. One of the greatest gifts that comes from nurturing inner conviction is the sense of peace it brings. When you truly believe that what you desire is inevitable, you let go of the need to rush, to stress, to struggle. You understand deep within that what you seek is already yours. It's just a matter of time before it appears in your experience. And so you relax into the journey. You trust the process, allowing life to unfold in its perfect way. This state of trust and calm isn't just more enjoyable, it's also more powerful. It aligns you with the natural flow of life, the current that carries you toward your dream. The power of inner conviction is that it transforms not just your mind, but your entire world. When you hold fast to your belief, when you refuse to be swayed by circumstances, by the opinions of others,
by the noise of the outside world. You become a creator of your own reality. The world will begin to shape itself around your inner state, and what once seemed impossible will become your everyday experience. The key is to believe so deeply, so completely, that nothing, not even the most convincing arguments of logic or the doubts of others, can shake your certainty. This is the essence of true inner conviction, and it's available to anyone who is willing to claim it. It's not about being special, it's about being willing. To deepen this practice, it's essential to embrace the art of imagination. Imagination is far more than just a pleasant escape. It's the creative force behind every invention, every success, every beautiful thing that has ever existed. Every remarkable achievement began as a spark in someone's imagination, a possibility that defied the odds and refused to stay hidden. When you learn to consciously harness this inner power, you gain the ability to reshape your life, to craft experiences that align with your deepest desires. Imagination is the bridge that connects the seen to the unseen, the doorway through which you access infinite potential. It's where all creation begins. Most people use their imagination unconsciously, letting it drift toward fears, worries, and memories of past disappointment. But when you learn to master your imagination, you take control of this creative faculty, using it intentionally to design your future, rather than being a passive observer of your past. It's important to understand that imagination is not limited by your current circumstances or the apparent obstacles in your way. It allows you to step beyond the boundaries of what seems possible, to explore new realities that haven't yet materialized. Through imagination, you can access experiences and emotions that you haven't physically encountered, but that are real to your mind and body nonetheless. Your subconscious mind doesn't distinguish between what's real and what's vividly imagined. To your subconscious, an imagined experience is just as valid as a physical one. That's why the key to mastering imagination is to use it deliberately and consistently. It's not enough to visualize something once and then forget about it. You need to engage your imagination regularly, feeding it with images and emotions that match the reality you want to create. This is the process of mental creation, where you begin to build the foundation of your desired life. The more time you spend immersing yourself in these imagined experiences, the more they become integrated into your belief system. And as your beliefs shift, your external world starts to transform in response. One of the most powerful ways to use your imagination is to imagine from the end result, not from a place of lack or desire. Many people make the mistake of visualizing their dreams as something that might happen someday, far in the future. But to truly harness the power of imagination, you need to step into the feeling of already having what you want. When you imagine yourself living in the reality of your fulfilled desire, you activate mental and emotional states that accelerate its manifestation. For example, if your goal is to experience financial abundance, don't just think about money or visualize piles of cash. Instead, imagine yourself living in the freedom, security, and ease that financial wealth brings. How does it feel to wake up in the morning knowing you're financially free? How do you carry yourself? What thoughts fill your mind? The more vividly you can answer these questions, the more real your vision becomes, and the faster your outer world aligns with it. Another crucial aspect of using your imagination effectively is to engage all your senses in the process. Don't just see your desires, feel them, hear them, taste them, smell them. The more sensory detail you include in your imagined experiences, the more powerfully they impact your subconscious mind. For instance, if you're imagining your dream home, don't just picture the walls and furniture. Feel the warmth of the sunlight streaming through the windows, smell the fresh flowers on the table, hear the gentle music playing in the background. Make it as real as possible. Imagination isn't limited to creating specific goals either. You can use it to shift your state of being at any moment. If you're feeling anxious or overwhelmed, you can use your imagination to transport yourself to a place of peace and calm. Close your eyes and picture yourself sitting beside a tranquil lake or walking through a serene forest. As you immerse yourself in this experience, your body and mind will respond as if it were real, helping you shift your emotional state. This is the true power of imagination, It's a tool for transformation. It allows you to create change in both your inner and outer world. The more you practice using it deliberately, the more control you gain over your thoughts, emotions, and ultimately your life. As you continue to master this art, you'll find that you can create your desired reality with greater ease and speed. But remember, it's just as important to guard your imagination against negative influences. Just as you can use it to build a beautiful life, it can also be hijacked by fear, doubt, and worry, leading you toward unwanted outcomes. That's why it's essential to be mindful of where your thoughts and imagination wander. If you catch yourself imagining worst-case scenarios or dwelling on what could go wrong, gently redirect your mind toward what you truly want to create. Train yourself to imagine only in ways that support your desires. With practice, you'll become adept at recognizing when your imagination is being misused and correcting its course. A powerful technique for enhancing your mastery of imagination is the practice of mental rehearsal. This means regularly picturing in your mind the experiences you want to have in life, just like an athlete mentally rehearses before a big game. If you want to excel in a particular area, spend time each day imagining yourself performing at your best. Feel the emotions of success, satisfaction, and joy as if it's happening right now. The more you rehearse these experiences in your mind, the more your subconscious accepts them as true, and the more you naturally begin to act in ways that align with that vision. Imagination and faith are deeply interconnected. When you imagine something, you're taking a leap of faith in its possibility. You're choosing to believe in something that hasn't yet appeared in the physical world. This is why using your imagination requires trust and belief in the unseen. As you practice, your faith in its power grows, and you begin to see tangible results in your life. Mastering the art of imagination isn't just about achieving goals, it's about transforming the way you live. When you become skilled at directing your imagination, you're no longer at the mercy of circumstances. You understand that you are the creator of your reality, and nothing is beyond your reach. The possibilities are truly endless when you know how to harness the power of your imagination to shape your life. Ultimately, imagination is a divine gift, a bridge to the infinite potential that exists within and all around you. When you learn to use it consciously and deliberately, you unlock a world of possibilities that can bring your desires to life in ways you may never have imagined before. Imagine for a moment that your imagination is like a blank canvas, ready for you to paint the masterpiece of your dream. The more skilled you become at wielding this tool, the more empowered you'll be to shape a life that reflects the truest expression of who you are and what you long for. When you recognize that every desire you hold begins as a seed planted in the fertile soil of your imagination, you begin to understand that you already hold the key to creating the life you want. Mastering this art, this ability to consciously use your imagination, is the essence of mastering life itself. When you reach this point, you step into a realm where external circumstances no longer dictate your sense of possibility. You move beyond the surface distractions that compete for your attention every day, and you start to listen to the deeper voice within, the one that knows your true potential and the life you're meant to create. In a world that constantly demands your attention in 1,000 directions, learning to step back and detach from the noise is one of the most powerful things you can do. It's a practice that allows you to rise above the surface-level illusions that can cloud your vision, helping you align more deeply with your true desires and the reality you wish to experience. The external world is filled with endless distractions, shifting circumstances, the ever-changing opinions of others, societal norms that try to tell you what's acceptable and what's not. It's so easy to lose sight of your own dreams in the midst of all this noise. Detachment doesn't mean abandoning the world or ignoring your responsibilities. Instead, it's about reclaiming your inner authority by choosing not to let external conditions dictate how you feel or what you believe is possible.
The first step in cultivating this sense of detachment is understanding that everything you see and experience outside of yourself is a mirror of your inner world. What you interpret as the external world is actually a reflection of your thoughts, beliefs, and emotions. When you truly grasp this, you realize that your circumstances are not as fixed or immovable as they might appear. They are fluid, adaptable, and shaped by the energy you hold within. When you detach from the constant fluctuations of the outside world, you create the space to transform your inner reality. And as your inner world shifts, your outer world naturally follows suit. One of the greatest gifts of detachment is that it breaks the cycle of reaction that keeps so many people stuck. When you're overly focused on what's happening around you, you often find yourself reacting, letting events, people, and circumstances dictate your thoughts, your feelings, and ultimately your actions. This reactive state leaves you feeling powerless, as though you're at the mercy of forces beyond your control. You may find yourself feeling overwhelmed, anxious, or frustrated because you've tied your sense of happiness and fulfillment to things outside of yourself, things that are constantly changing. Detachment liberates you from this. Instead of letting the world push you around, you start to create your reality from the inside out. Detachment allows you to see events for what they are, temporary experiences that pass through your life, not permanent definitions of who you are or what's possible for you. For instance, when you encounter a setback, whether it's a challenge at work or a disagreement with a loved one, detachment means you can observe the situation without letting it destabilize your inner peace. You see it as a passing cloud, not a storm that defines your entire life. Detaching from the ups and downs of life helps you maintain a sense of inner equilibrium, a calm that remains steady even when things don't go according to plan. This centeredness allows you to respond to life's challenges with wisdom and grace rather than with stress and fear. Another crucial element of detachment is learning to release the need for validation or approval from others. So many people find themselves trapped in cycles of seeking approval from family, friends, colleagues, or even strangers on social media. They allow these external voices to dictate how they feel about themselves and the choices they make. This constant seeking of validation can drain your energy and leave you feeling unfulfilled, often at the expense of your own dreams and happiness. When you detach from the need for approval, you empower yourself to follow your own inner guidance. You begin to trust yourself more deeply, to make choices that resonate with your own truth, even if they don't make sense to everyone else. You become free to live authentically, aligned with your highest self, rather than being pulled in every direction by the expectations of others. Detachment also plays a powerful role in the manifestation process. One of the key principles of manifesting your desires is learning to let go of attachment to the outcome. Once you've set your intention and done the inner work to align with your desire, you need to release the need to control how or when it will come to pass. This can be one of the most challenging aspects of the journey because the human mind loves to cling to specifics, to timelines, to precise outcomes, to the illusion of certainty. But true detachment is about trusting that the forces of life, call them the universe, divine intelligence, or simply the flow of nature, know the perfect way to bring your desire into being. Even if it doesn't arrive in the way or at the time you expect, you trust that it's on its way. When you let go of attachment to the outcome, you free yourself from the stress and anxiety that come from trying to control every detail. You create an open space for miracles to happen, for synchronicities to align, for the unexpected to unfold in ways that are even better than you could have imagined. When you cling tightly to a specific outcome, you often block the flow of manifestation by holding on to fear or doubt. But when you release that grip, you're sending a powerful signal to the universe that you trust the process, and this trust accelerates the manifestation of your desires. Practicing detachment doesn't mean you become passive or indifferent. On the contrary, it means you become deeply engaged with your inner world, taking responsibility for your thoughts, feelings, and beliefs. Detachment is about focusing your energy inward, cultivating a state of peace and trust that aligns you with your highest good. It's about recognizing that your inner state is what creates your external reality. When you detach from the noise of the outside world, you gain the clarity to see beyond appearances and connect with the deeper truth of who you are. You begin to tap into the wellspring of your own power, the source from which all your desires flow. A practical way to begin practicing detachment is through mindfulness and meditation. These practices help you quiet the mental chatter and connect with the stillness within. When you meditate, you learn to observe your thoughts without getting caught up in them. You realize that you are not your thoughts, you are the observer, the awareness behind them. This understanding forms the foundation of true detachment. Detachment also requires cultivating a deep sense of faith and trust in the unseen forces that are always working in your favor. This means surrendering the need to control how everything happens and trusting that life is unfolding perfectly, even when it doesn't look that way on the surface. Faith is a cornerstone of detachment because it allows you to let go of the need for immediate results and to rest in the knowing that what you desire is already on its way to you. Another vital aspect of detachment is practicing gratitude for the present moment. When you're constantly fixated on what's happening outside of yourself, you might miss the abundance and beauty that already exists in your life. Detaching from external circumstances allows you to appreciate what you have right now, without needing anything else to change in order to feel fulfilled. Gratitude shifts your focus from lack to abundance, from worry to peace. This shift in perspective naturally aligns you with more positive experiences and brings you closer to your desires. As you detach from the external world, you come to understand that true fulfillment comes from within. No amount of external success, material possessions, or praise from others can give you the lasting happiness that comes from being deeply connected to your own heart. Detachment helps you live from a place of inner strength, where you're no longer at the mercy of life's shifting tide. You become the steady presence in the midst of it all, grounded in the knowledge that you are the creator of your experience. In its essence, detachment is about reclaiming your inner authority. It's about recognizing that you are not a victim of circumstances, but a powerful creator who shapes your life from within. When you detach from the noise and the opinions of others, you step into a place of clarity and strength, a place where you can manifest your desires with grace and ease, living in harmony with your highest self. Aligning your emotions with your desires is another cornerstone of manifestation. At its core, this practice is about building a deep emotional relationship with what you want, even before it physically arrives in your life. It's about learning to feel as if you already have what you want, generating the emotional state that matches your desire. This is so important because emotions are not just fleeting feelings, they are powerful forces that shape your inner world and by extension your outer reality. Many people focus only on thinking about their desires, but thoughts alone are not enough to bring them to life. It's the combination of thoughts and emotions that creates the bridge between the mental and physical worlds. Emotions carry a stronger energetic charge than thoughts. They act as the magnetic force that draws your desires into your life. When you align your emotions with your desires, you're sending a clear signal to the universe that you're ready to receive what you want. Aligning your emotions means stepping into the feeling of already having what you seek. It's about living in the end result, feeling the relief, the joy, the excitement of your desire fulfilled. This is a profound shift in consciousness. It moves you from a place of lack to a place of abundance. Instead of dwelling on the fact that you don't yet have what you want, you focus on the feeling of already experiencing it. This shift creates a powerful magnetic force that draws your desires closer to you. Emotional alignment is so effective because emotions are the language of the subconscious mind. Your subconscious doesn't understand concepts like time or distance. It responds to the emotional states you hold most consistently. When you cultivate feelings of joy, gratitude, peace, and excitement in relation to your desires, your subconscious accepts these as your reality. It then begins to work tirelessly to align your outer world with these inner states, bringing circumstances and opportunities that support your desire. To align your emotions with your desires, you must first become aware of your current emotional state. Often people hold conflicting emotions about what they want. For example, you may desire financial abundance, but feel fear or anxiety about money at the same time. These conflicting emotions can create resistance and slow down the process of manifestation. The first step is to acknowledge and release any negative emotions that might be holding you back. This could mean confronting fears of unworthiness, doubts about your ability to succeed, or worries that it's too late. Once you've released these emotional blocks, you can consciously begin to cultivate the feelings that match your desired outcome. Ask yourself, how would I feel if I already had what I want? Would I feel relief, joy, confidence, or peace? Whatever those feelings are, begin to practice them now. In the present moment, it might feel counterintuitive to believe that your emotions come before your experience. After all, we've been conditioned to think that emotions are a reaction to events, like we'll be happy when we get that promotion or when we find the right relationship. But the truth is that it's actually the other way around. You need to feel happy first, to create the emotional foundation that draws experiences aligned with that happiness into your life. There are many ways to cultivate emotions that resonate with your deepest desires. One of the most powerful is visualization. When you vividly imagine yourself already living your dream, you're not just indulging in fantasy, you're creating a powerful emotional connection that makes your desire feel real. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, and place yourself in that scene. See it, hear it, and most importantly, feel it. Notice the emotions that surface. Maybe it's a sense of freedom, deep gratitude, or the thrill of accomplishment. Hold on to those feelings and let them flow through you like a wave of possibility. Another potent practice is gratitude. Gratitude vibrates at one of the highest energetic frequencies and acts like a magnet, drawing more of what you appreciate into your life. When you feel thankful for something even before it arrives, you're signaling to the universe that you're already in alignment with that experience. Begin by appreciating what you have now, and then extend that gratitude to your desires as though they're already here. This shift from lack to abundance opens the door to manifesting your dreams with greater ease. Affirmations can also help you align emotionally with your desire. When you repeat affirmations with conviction and feeling, you begin to reprogram your subconscious mind to accept your desires as your reality. But it's not just about repeating words, it's about feeling them. For example, simply saying "I am wealthy" won't shift your life if it feels hollow or forced. But if you say it while allowing yourself to feel the excitement, security, and freedom that wealth brings, you create a powerful emotional bridge between where you are and where you want to be. It's important to understand that aligning your emotions with your desires doesn't mean forcing yourself to be happy every second or pretending everything is perfect when it's not. It's about gently guiding your emotions toward the state that matches your dream. If you're feeling down or frustrated, allow yourself to feel those emotions without judgment. Then slowly begin to shift your focus towards something that brings you relief or a spark of joy. Even the smallest shift in your emotional state can have a profound impact on your ability to attract what you want. One of the most essential parts of the manifestation process is persisting through doubt. Doubt is a natural part of the human experience, especially when you're reaching for dreams that feel far beyond your current circumstances. It can come from past disappointments, the voices of those around you, or even your own fears of failure. But if you want to bring your desires to life, you must learn to navigate doubt and remain steadfast in the belief that what you desire is on its way, no matter how impossible it might seem in the moment. In many ways, doubt is the opposite of faith. When you entertain doubt, you're opening the door to the possibility that what you want might not happen, that the universe might not be on your side, or that you might not be worthy of your dreams. Left unchecked, these seeds of doubt can grow into towering walls that block your progress. But when you persist in the face of doubt, you're showing yourself and the universe that you're committed to your vision regardless of appearances or setbacks. The first step to moving through doubt is to recognize that it's not inherently wrong or bad. Doubt is simply your mind's attempt to protect you from disappointment. It craves certainty, and when it can't find it, it fills the gap with stories of why things might not work out. But doubt only has power when you let it dictate your actions and beliefs. If you can see doubt for what it is, a fleeting thought or a protective reflex,
You can acknowledge it without allowing it to derail your journey. One of the most effective ways to persist through doubt is to remind yourself that the external world is a reflection of your inner state. Just because your current circumstances don't match your desires doesn't mean they never will. Many people abandon their dreams because they let doubt convince them that what they want is too far out of reach. But circumstances can change in an instant. What feels impossible today might be your reality tomorrow. If you hold fast to your belief, persistence is the bridge that takes you from where you are to where you want to be. It's important to recognize that doubt often arises when there's a gap between your current life and your desired outcome. That gap can feel uncomfortable, but it's also an invitation to grow, to deepen your trust in yourself and in the process of creation. The key is to keep moving forward, step by step, even when progress seems slow or invisible. Your persistence builds momentum, and over time that momentum carries you toward your goal. Visualization is a powerful tool for navigating doubt. When you visualize your desired outcome, you're not just seeing it, you're feeling it. This emotional connection anchors you in the truth of what you want, making doubt feel less significant. As you practice living in the feeling of your fulfilled desire, doubt loses its grip on your mind and heart. Affirmations can also help you persist through doubt. When doubt arises, counter it with affirmations that reinforce your belief in yourself and in the process. Say things like, I am capable, the universe supports me, or my dreams are unfolding perfectly. Each time you do this, you reprogram your mind to align with faith instead of fear. Trusting in the timing of your desires is another vital part of persistence. Doubt often creeps in when things don't happen as quickly as we'd like. But the universe has its own perfect timing, even if it doesn't match your timeline. Just because something hasn't arrived yet doesn't mean it's not on its way. Trust that everything is unfolding exactly as it should, even if you can't yet see the bigger picture. When doubt feels overwhelming, remember that persistence doesn't mean forcing yourself to be positive or denying your emotions. It means continuing to hold your vision even when doubt is present. You can acknowledge doubt without letting it take control. Let it pass through you like a passing cloud while you remain anchored in your belief. In fact, doubt can be a powerful teacher. Every time you encounter doubt and choose to persist anyway, you strengthen your emotional and mental resilience. You learn to trust yourself and your ability to overcome challenges. Over time, you'll find that doubt loses its power, and your faith in yourself and the manifestation process grows deeper and more unshakable. It can also be helpful to see doubt as a signal that you're on the verge of something new. Often doubt appears most strongly right before a breakthrough, because your mind senses you're stepping into uncharted territory, a new reality that stretches beyond your current comfort zone. When doubt surfaces, instead of seeing it as a reason to stop, see it as a sign that you're getting closer to your goal. Surrounding yourself with supportive people can also make a world of difference when you're working to persist through doubt. Whether it's friends, mentors, or a community that believes in your vision, having others who uplift and encourage you can help you stay strong when doubt tries to take over. Even if not everyone understands your goals, find like-minded people who share your belief in the power of manifestation. Celebrate every small win along the way. Persistence isn't just about waiting for the big dream to arrive. It's about recognizing and appreciating every step forward, no matter how small. Each tiny success builds momentum and reinforces your belief that you're moving in the right direction. Over time, these small victories accumulate, and you'll find yourself living the life you once only dreamed about. Persisting through doubt is about choosing to believe in your dreams, even when there's no visible evidence that they're coming true. It's about trusting the process, knowing that doubt is a temporary feeling that doesn't define your future. Through visualization, affirmations, and trust in divine timing, you can navigate doubt and continue moving confidently toward your goal. Reprogramming the subconscious mind is one of the most transformative practices you can undertake on this journey of manifestation. The subconscious mind governs the vast majority of your thoughts, beliefs, and behaviors, often without you even realizing it. It's like the hidden engine that drives your life, shaping your experiences and the opportunities that come your way. If you want to manifest a life that truly aligns with your deepest desires, you must align your subconscious programming with your conscious intention. This means making a deliberate effort to replace old, limiting beliefs with new empowering ones. The subconscious mind works differently than the conscious mind. While the conscious mind is logical and deliberate, the subconscious is like a vast warehouse of memories, emotions, and ingrained patterns that operate automatically. It's also incredibly powerful, processing information and shaping your actions far more quickly than your conscious mind ever could. But because it runs on autopilot, you're often unaware of the beliefs and patterns that may be holding you back. One of the most important reasons why reprogramming the subconscious mind is essential is because it governs up to 95% of our daily thoughts, emotions, and actions. Even if on a conscious level you desire success, love, or happiness, if your subconscious beliefs are out of alignment with these desires, you might find yourself unknowingly sabotaging your effort. For instance, if you dream of financial success, but hold a deep-seated belief that wealth is difficult to attain, or that you're somehow unworthy of it, no matter how hard you work or plan, you'll likely encounter struggle after struggle. To genuinely change your life, you must begin by transforming those subconscious patterns that are quietly shaping your reality behind the scenes. The empowering truth is that the subconscious mind is incredibly receptive to new programming, especially when you approach it in a way that softens its natural resistance. Reprogramming involves building new neural pathways, replacing old limiting beliefs with empowering ones, and making these new patterns automatic. Through consistent practice, these new beliefs become second nature, guiding you effortlessly toward the life you desire. One of the most effective methods to reprogram your subconscious mind is through repetition. Just like a habit forms through repetition, your subconscious mind accepts new beliefs and ways of thinking when they're repeated often enough. That's why habits, whether helpful or harmful, become deeply ingrained over time. By consistently affirming and visualizing the new beliefs and outcomes you want, you begin to override the old stories that have kept you stuck. Repetition can be as simple as reciting daily affirmations, positive statements about yourself and your goals that with time become part of your subconscious reality. For example, if you're seeking to attract a loving, supportive relationship but carry feelings of unworthiness, you can work on reprogramming that pattern by repeating affirmations like, "I am worthy of love," or "healthy, loving relationships flow into my life with you." Over time, these affirmations gradually replace the old narrative of self-doubt and pain, and your subconscious begins to accept these new truths as your lived reality. Visualization is another profound tool for reprogramming the subconscious. It's more than just imagining something, it's about immersing yourself in the experience of already living the life you want. The subconscious mind doesn't distinguish between real and vividly imagined experiences, which means that every time you visualize your desired reality with strong emotions, you're essentially tricking your mind into believing it's happening right now. Imagine, for example, that you want to manifest a thriving career. Spend a few minutes each day visualizing yourself in your dream job. Picture the details, the office, your coworkers, the satisfaction you feel as you achieve your goals. Feel the pride and excitement as if it's all happening. The more you immerse yourself in these feelings and mental images, the more your subconscious mind aligns with this new possibility, guiding your thoughts, actions, and even opportunities to bring this vision to life. Another vital component of subconscious reprogramming is identifying and releasing limiting beliefs. Those deeply held ideas that have taken root over time, often without your awareness. These beliefs can stem from past experiences, cultural conditioning, or even inherited family patterns. They can quietly influence your choices and perceptions, making it difficult to move beyond them unless you become consciously aware of their presence. To start reprogramming these beliefs, you must first bring them into the light. This often requires deep self-reflection and a willingness to explore the areas of your life where you feel stuck or challenged. Ask yourself, what beliefs might be holding me back here? For example, if you've been struggling financially, you might uncover beliefs like money is scarce, I don't deserve wealth, or it's impossible to succeed in this economy. Once you've identified these limiting beliefs, you can begin to replace them with empowering statements that support your goals. Hypnosis and self-hypnosis are also powerful tools for accessing and reprogramming the subconscious. Hypnosis works by guiding your conscious mind into a relaxed, suggestible state where you can bypass its resistance and speak directly to your subconscious. In this state, you can introduce new ideas and beliefs more effectively, planting the seeds of transformation. Many people find hypnosis helpful for releasing deep-seated fears, changing long-held habits, or letting go of old negative beliefs. Self-hypnosis is something you can practice on your own, often with the help of guided recordings that gently lead you into a trance-like state. In this relaxed space, you can introduce affirmations, visualizations, or new beliefs directly to your subconscious mind. This method allows you to work internally, reshaping your mind from the inside out and creating profound, lasting change. Meditation is another invaluable practice for reprogramming the subconscious. When you meditate, you quiet the noise of your conscious mind and drop into a deeper state of awareness, where you can more easily connect with your subconscious. Through regular meditation, you become more attuned to your thoughts and beliefs, making it easier to shift your focus toward what you truly want to manifest. Meditation also helps to soothe the nervous system and reduce stress, which can open the door to more effectively reprogram your subconscious mind with new positive beliefs. Over time, this practice builds a foundation of inner calm and clarity, making it easier to align your mind and emotions with the outcomes you desire. Consistency is absolutely essential when reprogramming yourself. Just as it took time for old patterns to form, it will take time and dedication to replace them. Daily practices, whether it's repeating affirmations, visualizing your goals, meditating, or using self-hypnosis, gradually reshape your subconscious programming. Over time, these new beliefs and patterns become your automatic way of being, guiding you effortlessly toward the life you envision. It's also crucial to trust the process. At times, it may feel as though nothing is changing, especially if you don't see immediate results. But remember, the subconscious mind often works behind the scenes, creating subtle shifts that may not be immediately obvious. As you continue to reinforce your new beliefs, your external world will start to reflect these inner changes. Reprogramming your subconscious is a powerful tool for creating lasting transformation. When your subconscious beliefs align with your conscious desires, you break free from the patterns that have held you back and open the door to a reality that mirrors your deepest dreams. Through the consistent use of repetition, visualizing, meditation, and hypnosis, you can reshape your inner world and in turn your outer experience. This journey requires patience, dedication, and a deep trust in the process. But the rewards are immeasurable as you step into your full potential and begin to create the life you've always envisioned. In the end, the power to manifest your desires lies within your ability to reshape your inner world. By living in the feeling of the wish fulfilled, nurturing unshakable conviction, and mastering the art of imagination, you align yourself with the reality you wish to experience. Detaching from external circumstances and aligning your emotions with your goals are essential steps in this journey. Persisting beyond doubt, even when logic and reason try to sway you, keeps your faith strong and your vision alive. Reprogramming the subconscious mind through affirmations, visualization, and daily practice is key to aligning your beliefs with your goal. This process requires consistency, patience, and an unwavering belief in the unseen. As you align your inner world with the life you wish to create, your external reality naturally begins to shift to match your dream. Every thought, every feeling, and every belief becomes a building block, paving the way toward the manifestation of the life you've always imagined. Trust in the process, commit to your inner work, watch as the world mirrors the transformation happening within you. The creative power of your mind is limitless. What you can imagine, you can achieve. The life you desire is waiting for you to claim it, one belief, one feeling, one aligned action at a time.